This piece of machinery is widely regarded as the worst gun in Arc Raiders. Today we're going to use it to kill every single enemy in the game just to make sure. This is a standard level 1 Bettina. It's pink, has a 22 round mag, very good range, and runs on heavy ammo. Sounds good, right? Don't let the pink color fool you. This is a sheep in wolf's clothing, so first we need to upgrade it. This is a $30,000 level 4 Bettina equipped with the best attachment space coins can buy, and we're going to be running 2 of them. If this doesn't make the gun serviceable, literally nothing will. The rules are very simple. I start fresh with each gun at 100% durability. I kill every arc in the game by myself using only this gun. No grenades, no help, and no repairing them. If it breaks, it breaks. And if I fail to exfil, it doesn't count. The first target we're looking for is a tick. They're the worst. I hate them, and as we established in the last video, they can technically kill you if you fail to remove them. Good news is that literally any weapon in the game can kill them, even your pickaxe, so this should be the easiest one of the day. If this thing doesn't one-shot a tick, I'm ending the video. Thankfully it did. Good, let's move on. Next up are the rolling kamikazes of Arc Raiders, Pops. Like ticks, they find you when you least expect it and self-immolate in spectacular fashion. Another piece of good news, they're everywhere and incredibly easy to kill. Glad we started easy. Now let's go find their big brother. That big brother is Fireball. Just like the Popper, the Fireball is a pyromaniac, but without a death wish. Oh, sorry, God, that really sucked. Technically, any gun can one-shot these things, but only after they open their mouths and spit flames at you. Believe it or not, this is actually our first big test. Like, if this doesn't one-shot it, I'm in some deep... Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. With that warm-up out of the way, it was time to take to the sky. The Snitch is an Arc whose name is actually a bit too on the nose. It sees you, has a panic attack, realizes it's out of Xanax, and then calls in Arc who have guns, and they try to kill you. This is not going how I wanted it to go. If I'm being... Just die already! Thank you so much. This is gonna suck. Now for the entomology section. The Wasp is a flying arc that doesn't pollinate and is just angry at you for no apparent reason, but like most flying arc, they have a weak spot. As long as I shoot their thrusters, I honestly should be good to go. I guess you can go into the wall as well. If a Taser and a Wasp had a child, that would bring us to our next contestant, which is the Hornet. Just like the Wasp, it shoots you, but also tries to electrocute you first and has a little more health. I'm honestly curious how many bullets this is gonna take, so if the voiceover guy could tell you. You guys have eyes, count for yourself. Fine, whatever. It's taking almost as much as the Snitch. Perfect. We haven't even gotten to the big boys yet. Now for literally everyone's least favorite arc. Oh, there goes my mic. Sorry. In common vernacular, this guy is known by a few names, the Angry Trash Can or Squidward, but whatever you call it, one thing we can all agree on is the Shredder sucks. They strike when you least expect it, and if you're not behind cover, you're asking the lobby if anyone has a defib. I have spotted our victim. As long as you're okay with shotgun ammo flying past your head, killing a Shredder isn't a huge deal. Just find some type of cover, and when he opens up, hide behind it until he goes into his refractory period, then continue shooting him. Do that a few times and you have a dead Shredder. Now time to use a metric ton of heavy ammo. If you thought things were going too well so far, you would be 100% right, because we're about to fight this thing. It usually only takes 2 wolf packs to bring it down, but you already knew that if you watched the last video. To make matters even more complicated, there is a trial going on right now requiring Rocketeer damage, so it's gonna be hard to fight this one solo. Thankfully, I have a strategy for this. Okay, we found a Rocketeer, well, technically 2 over there. I'm gonna hide in here, shoot it, aggro it, and it'll probably come over and try to kill me. The good news about this strat is that you have some time before it actually makes contact, and you can also pick the best spot to fight it. I'm concerned, I mean, obviously, yeah, he's coming towards me, but still, I was using the, quote, worst gun in the game, so it doesn't help that much. Why are there still 2? I want to fight 1 at a time, and we were only getting started on the big boys. As long as you remember the 5 Ds of dodgeball, the Rocketeer is probably the easiest of the big boys in the game to take down, so long as you're not double teamed by them. Take out their thrusters and it starts flying around well over the legal limit. Just stay patient, keep behind cover, and hit your shots. The one thing you need to worry about is the splash damage from the rockets. There's a lot of it, and even when you think you're safe, chances are you're probably sitting in the first row at SeaWorld. I'm running out of heals, but also so are they, so I feel like we're gonna be... Okay, I was inside for that. Finally, it's smoking. Here we go. I got... Yeah, that's not hitting me.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. Sorry, what? What are we... Did you shoot that thing?
You did all the work and I just shot the last shot.
This is about to be a reoccurring theme. Moving back to the ground, it was time for the Leaper. I get this name because it has a 200-foot vertical jump and spent some time on an NBA G League two-way contract, but LeBron James isn't its dad. So now it's playing power forward for the Shanghai Sharks. What's up, you silly goose? Time to learn Chinese, buddy! The trick to killing Leapers is the same as Rocketeers. Put some damage in early and then find a hole they can't crawl into and pop a whole bunch of shots before they go Super Saiyan and hit you with a Goku-like Kamehameha. You know, you can't win them all. Since it's wearing 10-inch stiletto heels, the legs are obviously the weak point, which makes it even more impressive that they can jump so high. I was inside for that. If I'm being honest, this one took a lot longer than I thought it would, and I came close to dying a minimum of 3 times. This is horseshit. Eventually, we got it done. I blew up the Leaper. Yay. If I had failed here, this would have been a very short video. That took so much more time and effort than I thought it would. I don't know how we're gonna do the big guys. Now it's time for something that doesn't have legs. The Bastion is the closest thing Art came to designing a bowling ball, if the bowling ball was also a warthog. No, not Pumbaa from the Lion King. It's this thing. It's a plane. This is gonna be the most annoying one yet, by far. Back check. True. One usually spawns way out in Narnia of Spaceport, so that's where I went. I get the worst spawns of any YouTuber ever, but time for a bunch of adrenaline shots and a time lapse, I guess. 5 adrenaline shots, and about 1,000 meters later, the battle began. I don't know how many adrenaline shots the guy said, but it was definitely more than 5. Just like the Leaper, the Bastion's weak points are their legs, but that's where the comparisons end, because their legs are digital tree stumps. We try and turn them into Anakin and take the high ground, you're just shooting their outer protective hull, and if you try to make like a fullback and get your pads underneath them, you run the risk of getting insta-downed by their gun that shoots a billion rounds a minute. Let's go ahead and add an ammo graphic here because I'm using so much of it. I suppose I can do that. There was also another complicating factor. These fights take so long that it's almost a certainty that one of 2 things is going to happen. Either some good Samaritan is going to come over here and try to help me, which I would usually welcome, or I'm gonna... Oh. They're already here. No, leave. I don't need help. I promise, it's for science. Up until now, I'd been able to take my fights in relative solitude, but unfortunately, I had now opened myself up to help, harm, and betrayal, and it was only gonna get worse. Was that a wolf pack? That was a wolf pack. What are we doing? We now had a few people around who were genuinely concerned for my well-being, and while I hoped the bystander effect was gonna kick in, it turns out people are just far too helpful. I did not want that to happen. Was that you who just did that?
You good?
No, it was actually her.
I'm like Captain Save-A-Ho, I can't do it.
Our last thick boy is the bombarder, who gets his name because he drops bombs. Accurate name is accurate, I guess. Here we go. This one's actually a twofer, because if you thought I'd missed the spotter drones at the beginning of this video, it's time to delete your comments and subscribe instead, because the bombarder is one of the only arcs to have a digital remora. Why don't you tell them what a remora is? Huh? They're little suckerfish that hang out on a shark. That's essentially what a remora is. There, now you guys have learned something today. Only in this case, these remoras tell the bombarder where you are, and he makes it rain heavy artillery on you until you shoot them down. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. I feel like I am not alone over here, and it's not just the bombarder. Like, there are raiders around. I was not alone. You can get close to them if you want, but they have a shockwave attack, which really fucks you up. And again, I'm using a gun that's not great, running on fumes and adrenaline shots, and we still have 2 of the scariest bosses in the game left, so I decided to respect its space. For a few minutes, the bombarder and I were in a healthy, monogamous relationship. Fuck, that's all I wanted was solitude, but it seemed the lobbies had other ideas, and for the first time in my life, I thought about complaining about people being too nice. Okay, well, it's dead, but I guess I get a loot now, so... Speaking of goop, the next 2 have so much. We'll start with this big girl first, the ultimate pick-me girl of all the Arc bosses. It's the Matriarch. Her defenses are many. Flashbangs, which blind you, gas grenades that zap your stamina, and rockets that simply fuck you up. The chances of fighting this one alone are 0, zilch nada. It's a group boss and honestly requires many hands to make light work. I feel absolutely naked dropping in right now. Yeah, so here's what I actually usually run. As many wolf packs as I can carry, enough launcher ammo to kill every arc on the map, and a Venator in case there's a rat. Herbal bandages and shield rechargers, lots of them. Add a raider key and a cloaking device and you're set. Yeah, this feels like I'm at a nudist resort. Instead, what I had was as much heavy ammo as I could carry, a raider key, a modest amount of heals and shield chargers, and 2 carbon copies of what I was beginning to realize was actually the worst gun in the game, and they were inching closer to breaking. Things got off to a pretty rocky start. If I die to a fireball, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'd love to tell you it got better, but honestly it didn't. The structure I was in was kind of like being in a boat during a tsunami. You feel safe, but in reality, you're just as screwed in it as you are out of it. There were a few people with guns that actually did damage, and I can't thank those guys enough. But during these fights, there's also always someone who sits in the back with a Stitcher, does absolutely nothing, and when you're not looking, sneaks onto the battlefield to get Matriarch cores. Yeah, we had one of those guys. And after they got revived for the 2nd time, I decided to go get mine. I don't know if there's any defibs left, but I'm about to go get a core. This was dumb. I was attempting to beat a rat at their own game and should have known better, but ammo was low. My Bettinas were somehow even closer to breaking, and if this was the end, I wanted to go out with a Matriarch core in my safe pocket. Let the record show this is completely out of greed. I have like 15 of them in my stash right now. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of deserve that. Now it's time for me to ask the question. Hey, so does anyone have a defib? Thankfully somebody did, and we got back to Bastion. I ended the fight with literally 2 rounds of heavy ammo left, my gun's almost in pieces, and absolutely no idea how I was gonna do this against the queen. This seems so hard, so hard. So yeah, buckle up for this one, guys. Woo. As the name suggests, the queen sits atop the Ark food chain. She guards a harvester, which itself is a puzzle that often spits out insane blueprints. If you're lucky enough to take her down, you get these things, which let you make this thing, and other guns I haven't found blueprints for yet. Here's the issue though. In the most recent patch for this game, the developers decreased the drop rate of those cores, meaning less raiders are taking her on.
Hey, does anyone have a defib?
We literally just started. In total, I counted 6 other people in my lobby, and in a few minutes, you'll see it was more like 5. The queen resource guards the harvester like a territorial animal, but the usual strategy is to get inside and use it as cover, popping out from side to side when the moment presents itself to put in a few shots. Just like the Matriarch fight, I had left my usual supplies at home and opted to binge on heavy ammo, health items, raider key, and a cloaking device, and was roughly a quarter of the way through my ammo when I noticed chicken nuggies. That guy is 1000% just looting all the cores. Wait until you hear how many cores he had. With each down, he'd come crawling back into the harvester, asking for another revive, and honestly, our defib stash was growing smaller. You're welcome. I thought about giving him the high five of justice and sending him back to the lobby, but I want to keep my nice lobby so I can try more dumb things like this. One by one, people kept getting down, which would have been fine if they were contributing, but I had found myself in a lobby comprised of at least 50% of vampires whose only source of sustenance was queen cores. Sorry man, I don't have another defib. I was not sorry at all. Instead of dying quickly so we could use his things to not die ourselves, Chicken Nuggies just lay there in his own excrement, slowly and agonizingly delaying the inevitable when he let something slip.
Alright, peace out, guys. I got like 6 queen cores on me.
Nah. That ain't right. As the remaining 2 raiders and I waited for Chicken Nuggies to put us out of his misery, I got back to Bastion, but just like the Matriarch fight, I was running into a problem. The entire weight of the Speranza military-industrial complex had failed me, not to mention the 2-piece shooters masquerading as fancy weapons I had strapped to my back. I put what I had left in me towards killing the queen, but it was honestly time to give up. She was barely smoking, and we had less than 10 minutes to exfil, and someone had to call it. Instead, what followed is a perfect example of guys not talking about their feelings.
Hey, do we have an ass?
It was my time to shine. What I didn't show you was a few minutes earlier, there was actually a sign of goodwill from my remaining 2 companions. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. One of Chicken Nuggies' 97 queen cores, so I was more than willing to part way with my raider key. It was time to make a break for it, so I popped out my cloaking device and sprinted as fast as my astronaut suit would let me. But I gotta say, 200 meters feels a lot further when you've got a magma-spitting robot at your back. But we made it over to the hatch, and on the way down, made a silent promise to myself to literally never run the Bettina again. You're never gonna see me run it. Now I gotta take this dog out, so I'll see you guys later.